Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Keith once again with Craps TX. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And before we get started, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up for us. Helps out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that bell for notifications. That way, you'll be notified when another video comes out. So today, we're going to have a little bit kind of different strategy. We're going to involve a lay bet. We're going to play the field. We're going to play inside. We're going to regress. We're going to press. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But before we get to that, I'd like to thank our two partners for partnering up with the channel. First of all is pokerchipmania.com. They've got clay, ceramic, and composite chips, which composites are what I play with. They also have 19 millimeter dice, once again, for sale on their website. And shipping costs are usually fairly decent. The times that I've ordered, I've gotten received my orders fairly quickly. But yeah, they also are offering to our viewers a 10% discount off of your entire order if you just enter CrapsTX10 at checkout. That is pokerchipmania.com. And on the home screen, if you scroll down a little bit, there is a section for craps. If you click on that, it'll take you to the page that has the dice on it. And it's also got a link to my channel on there. So thank you very much to those people over at pokerchipmania.com for doing that. So now let's move on to the next one. We have gripmats.etsy.com. That is the place where I bought this tabletop. Very nice. This is the deluxe craps layout. They also have poker, baccarat, blackjack, all kinds of themed games, over 300 game boards and pieces and different kinds of mats. They have theme mats like Star Wars, Dune, and Marvel. Plus you can get desk mats, mouse pads. They have contact info on there where you can send them a message if you have a special request, and they'll see if they can honor that for you. They've always got some sort of discount going on. They do have a discount for the holidays on select items. Go check out their website at gripmats.etsy.com, and you'll be able to see what the percentages are and what items they are offering for sale right now or on sale for the holiday. So thank you again to pokerchipmania.com and gripmats.etsy.com for partnering with us. So now let's get on to the strategy. I've got my cheat sheet here because there is a little bit involved here and there. All right, this is going to be a $10 table. We'll get that out of the way. And we have a $1,000 buy-in. So I've got 7, 8, 9, 25, 50, 75, and 1,000. So we'll go ahead and get that racked up out of the way and start kind of explaining this a little bit. We start out, well, let's tell you the name of it first. It is the Lay and Play the Field. Lay and Play the Field. Not the most clever, but whatever. It is a strategy, and we're going to test it out. So, and it involves something just a little different than what we would normally do. I mean, if you're up, at a casino a little bit and you want to kind of try something a little different, this is probably one of the things that you could do. So you start out with a $1,000 bankroll, $10 table, got that. So we're going to place a lay bet. You can pick any number. Usually most people pick the 4 or the 10, and you can play anywhere from $70 to $100. It depends on you. These pay 1 to 2 if they hit, if the 7 rolls on the come out. If it happens to hit the number that you put the lay bet on, you do lose that. So at that point, you would probably either replace it or just wait for a point to be set and play the rest of the strategy from there on out. But anyway, like I said, we play the lay bet. We wait for a point to be set. Let's say the point is 8. We'll take our lay bet down, and at that point, we will play the 6 and 8. We're not the shooter, so we don't have to worry about the pass line. Here, I'll play from here. We're going to play the 6 and 8 for $48 each. So that's 25. There is 45. And we have to top it off with 3. That makes 48. Okay, so what that is going to do, that'll pay 56 if you should hit. We're also going to, we're also going to have a $25 field bet. Let's see. Once the point is set, we do that $25 field bet. Okay, so now on the collect part, if the 6 or 8 hit, you win 56. You do lose the field bet. So out of that 56 that you win, you replace the field bet, and then you rack 31, which I believe is what you have left after that. If the field hits, you use the winning in the field to add the 9 and or the 5 and spread out across the field, or I'm sorry, across the inside. If the 2 or 12 hits, obviously you're going to double what you have down here. You can just pull the field bet at that point and just play inside. After 2 total hits, you're going to have somewhere around $60 to $70 in profit, depending on what you hit. And then we're going to regress. And we can do either 44 inside or 66 inside. And from there, you can just do whatever kind of press and collect type strategy you want to do. So it's just a different way to get us to the normal like 44 or 66 inside. And at that point, you're essentially playing with house money or profit, however you want to call it. So let's go ahead and roll it out. It's always a little bit easier to see it in action than to explain it sometimes. And I'm sitting here reading off a cheat sheet. So this is my first time playing it. I have not practiced this yet, so we are going to witness the train wreck together, or the success together, as it were. So I am going to keep my little notes off to the side. I might have to glance over at them every once in a while, but we'll get this show started. So we're not the shooter. We're not going to be the shooter in any of these instances. Get us a set of dice. There is a hard 8. We'll take that. Okay, first off, we're going to place our lay bet. I'll go ahead and place it on the 4. So it's a $100 lay bet. And that's just for protection on the come out. All right, dice out. And there we go. There is our protection. 4, 3, 7. Pays 1 to 2. So that is a $50 win. And that's going to go in our rack. We'll just leave this stuff out so we can kind of see what we've got. At this point, we can either pull it or we can keep it up there again for continued protection. We're not really protecting against anything necessarily because we're not playing any pass line or inside bets like that. All right, there is a hard 8. 8 is going to be our point. We'll pull our lay bet down. And at this point, we're going to throw out $96. So we'll just throw that 100 back out there. And dealer, please place my 6 and 8 for 48 each. You'll get $4 and change. And we'll get the 90, what does that say? 45. So there's 25 on each. 45 and 3 each makes it 48. Okay, and we're also going to play a $25 field bet. So we'll just take that out of that 50 that we won earlier. Let me know if the table is okay. I tried using this light last time just because some of the natural light we're not getting because, days are shorter right now. Let me know how this looks on the screen and if it's not casting the shadows and all that. Like I said, I use this for streaming whenever I join some other people's live streams, and it seems to work. But anyway, let's keep on going. We've got our point established and coming out. All right, there's a 6, 2, 8. All right, so a few things. That is point hit. We do lose the field bet. However, that 48 pays 56. And out of that 56... we'll replace our field bet and we'll rack 31. All right, so now we got to wait for another point to be set. We can play the lay bet if you want. We can actually wait on the field. We can hold off on that until we get a point set. Now, if we want to play the lay bet, we can do that. Let's go ahead and do it. We'll put another 100 out there on the 4. And dice are out. There is a 5, 1, 6. All right, 6 is going to be our new point. We can pull that lay bet down and put our quarter back out on the field. All right, we're looking for a couple of hits on the inside here. The inside. There is a 6, 4, 10, or the field numbers. That also helps us. 25 is going to pay 1 to 1. That pays 25, so we'll rack that. Actually, we almost have enough because of that initial hit. We really have enough to go ahead and regress now. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that because we've got $81 over here. So at that point, let's just say, dealer, please, I think you can take your own field bet down, but just tell him to take you to, we'll go 66. We'll go 66 inside. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll regress and we'll be ahead of the game, especially with the rest of this as well. So that is 3 on each. And we'll leave these out here because we'll need them. Let's see, we need change. There's 25. For 25, there's another 3 and 3, 3 and 3. So we have 66. Putting 30 back to the rack. We'll color up a little bit here as we go. And we've got over $100 out there, or in our rack now. So we're playing with $66, essentially profit or house money. So lay and play the field and then regress once you get that profit and you're playing with house money. And from here, you can do whatever you want. We can half press, we can full press, we can hit a couple of collects first and then press. I've got a 3-2-5. I'm doing okay over here. So out of this 15, that's going to pay 21. And we're going to need some more red here. So 21. Now, we don't even have to press the 5. If we wanted to, we could press the 6 or 8. But I'm just going to go ahead and follow the puck, or not the puck, but the dice, and just press that particular number since we are kind of ahead of the game here. So I'm just going to do a half press. I'll take $10 and put that on there and take that up to 25 and then rack 11. That way we're kind of getting, collecting a little money each time because you know some of the shooters aren't going to do too well for us. So let's take advantage of a good shooter while we've got it. That was a 6-5 yo, so nothing helps us on that. And then now we got to follow it up with a 6-1-7. Okay, so now this has all come down, but that first shooter did ended up with a profit. So $145, $47, something like that. And we're mixing colors here, but that's okay. All right, so now we're going to start over once again. We'll get us another set of dice. See if we can't get through a few shooters here. I know I'm kind of talking. Oh, hey, and also stick around until the end. I know I've touched on it before and I didn't get around to it, but got a little interesting anecdote or interesting message from somebody from a video a few videos back. And I'm not going to have their name out there or anything like that, but I just want to address what they said. It's kind of funny. I mean, whatever. You can take it as it is, but stick around to the end for that. All right, so we're coming out looking for a point. First of all, let's get that lay bet. We did the 4. Let's go ahead and just do the 10, just to make it up a little different. See if that will help or hurt. Hopefully it won't hurt. There is a aces, spot in the dot. Doesn't help, doesn't hurt. And a 4-1-5. All right, 5 will be our point. We can pull our lay bet down. And at this point, we throw out 96. So we'll just throw out that 100 once again. Get $4 and change. We're actually going to tighten that up a little bit or color up. And we will put out our $96. That is 48 on each of the 6 and 8. And we'll put a $25 field bet out. The lay and play the field. We already did the lay. Now we're playing the field. All right, dice out. Looking for a couple of hits. There's a 6-3-9. Okay, we can handle this a couple of ways. We do hit the 9. That's going to pay 1-1, 25. Let me just check my notes. I think on the first field hit like that, if we wanted to, we could go ahead and pull that and play the 9 and the 5. Matter of fact, let's do that this time. We'll go ahead and pull our field bet down, and now we're playing that. And then we're still going to be looking for a couple of hits. So we got 25, 48, 48, and 25. Kind of a mixed bag of bets there. We could regress it a little bit, but there's one hit on the 8 already. 42 is going to pay 56. So we don't have to replace that field bet this time since we pulled our field bet down already. So there's 56. Let's go ahead and collect. We'll just say same bet. Again, right now you could regress. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. 80 down to 66, please. And well, that way we'll take some of this money out of risk and get us a decent bet out there anyway with the 66. There's 25 for 5. Finish that up there. All right, and then cap that off. All right, we've got our 66 and we're putting 76 back in our rack. Well over $100 back over there. So you put a little money out at first for the risk, just so you get to this point where you regress and you're playing with profit or house money, however you want to look at it. 6, 2, 8. All right, that 18 is going to pay 21. We'll throw in $3. I don't have 3 right there, but there's a nickel, and I'll get 2 and change. And dealer, take my 8 up to 42. So that, I'm just going to press the number that hits right now. Dice out. 5, 3, 8. All right, that 8 is hot and heavy right now. That's 3 8s in a row, I believe. All right, 42 is going to pay 49 or 50 for $1. Like I said, from here, you can just do whatever you want. You can press, collect, press, whatever. Let's see, with this 50, I'm going to go ahead and keep pressing that number. So I'm going to take 8 up to 60, and that will put $32 back to the rack. So again, we're able to press and collect on the same hit. Collect a little bit each time, and at any time you can regress as well. 5, 1, 6. All right, 20 or 18 is going to pay 21. We'll throw in the $3. Dealer, take me up to 42. So 24 and 18 is 42. And now we have the 6 up to 42. So we're kind of building back up. We've got over $150 over in our rack. There is a 6 right back. That helps. 42 pays 49 or 50 for 1. Dealer, take my 6 up to 60. So easy peasy. And again, $32 back to the rack. And now we've got close to $200 over there. Dice out. And there's a 12. Box cars, 12 midnight. Doesn't help us now. If we were playing the field, that'd have been a good hit. And a 314. Okay, nothing on that either. Another field number, but we're not playing the field. We did in the beginning. And now you can always go back and play some more if you'd like. There's 3 field numbers in a row. All right, dice out. That was a 6-5 yo. And there's a 639, another field number, but it's also a box number, and we're on that one. 15 is going to pay 21. Dealer, take me up to 25 on the 9, so that'll be $10 right there. We'll color that up, put a green out there, and then $11 back to the rack. So we'll color up over here as well. There's 5 red for a green, 4 green, for a black, and we are definitely over $200 in the rack. 203, 204, something like that. 203. There's a 415. All right, that is our point, and 15 is going to pay 21, and we'll take that up also to 25. That's just $10 there and $11 back to the rack, and then they'll clean that up for you, and we are back to looking for another point. Now, we don't really have to do that lay bet because we did that in the beginning when we didn't have anything out there. We've got a pretty good amount out here right now, plus we've got some in the rack. Not going to worry about playing the lay bet, just setting a new point. That's only really for a new shooter on the first come out roll. All right, so we've got 25, 60, 60, and 25. So not too bad. These are off, not working. You can work them. It would have helped if we did, but there's a 415, so we're right back on the 5 for the point. This is the lay and play the field. We've already done the lay, we've already played the field, and now we're just playing whatever you want. You can play spread out all the way across if you'd like. 639, 25 is going to pay 35. I'll just say, dealer, take me up to 35 on that 9, and you get a solid quarter going back to your rack. All right, dice out. 6-5, yo, 11. See a horn, bet a horn. You can even play some prop bets over here if you want. There is a hard 8. So we had a horn and a hard way number that we could have played. That 60 is going to pay 70, which is good. Dealer, take me up to 90. So that's only one of those and one of those. And we get to put, what, another $40 back to the rack. And we can color up. There's 5 red for a green. And we're almost up to 300 in the rack. Just on shooter number 2, I believe. Or maybe this is 3. There's a 516. That's same as that 8. We got 60 there. That's going to pay 70. And we're going to take that up to 90. 1 quarter, 1 nickel, and we are up to 90. And putting $40 back in the rack again. All right, there is 4 green for a black, and we are definitely over $300 for this shooter. Dice out. Need to hit the back wall, shooter. There's a 314. Nothing there. Again, we can play it if we want, or just keep our inside numbers. There is another hard 8. And that's a good one there. 90 pays 105. Anytime I get that first black chip, I just say same bet. I'm just going to collect. I am not even going to chance that at all. I'm going to go ahead and take that black chip. Dice out. There's a 3, 1, 4. Again, nothing there. Dice out. Right back on that hard 8. Now I will press. That pays 105. 90 pays 105. There's several ways you can do this. Okay, you can go up to 120, 150, or I'm going to go ahead and go up to 180 because we've already got a healthy amount over there. So I'll put 180 out there. That's like playing 18, and then that'll pay 210 if we should hit. We got $15 going back to the rack. Not the largest amount going back to the rack. I'm going to color up. There's 5 for a quarter. But again, we're doing fairly well on this shooter. Got some decent profit working for us and some decent numbers out here on the table. 6-5, yo, 11. No help, no harm. 6-4, 10. Again, nothing on that. And a hard 4. Okay. Eventually, what's right now is eventually, I am going to take at least, there's $30. Dealer, place my 4 and 10 for 15. So we'll do that. And now we'll see how many we don't hit since we have them covered. There is a 6, 2, 8. All right, that is that 180. That is going to pay 210. What am I going to do? I'm going to same bet because that is 2 black chips going back to the rack. And look at that. We've already got a stack of black chips just on this shooter. Dice out. All right, there is aces, spot and a dot. Nothing for that. Dice out. And a 6-5 yo. That's the see a horn, bet a horn. Again, we could be playing over here. Dice out. 4, 3, 7. Okay, so there it goes. All right, yes, we did leave a lot of money out here, but I believe we collected more than what we left on the table, and that's kind of a sign of success there, and I am not going to sweat that whatsoever. So I'm just going to kind of glance at it here, probably about $350 or so left on the table, and we have well over that collected on this shooter alone. There's 6 right there. So that's going to the rack. 6-15. And some white there. Actually, we need to color up a little bit. I know we're not supposed to do it during the game, but when you're on video and you're running out of colors down here, you need to kind of color up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. That's 2 more green. And there we go. All right, so we are getting a new set of dice. We're on a new shooter. Lay and play the field is what it's called. So we need to get that lay bet out there on our come out roll. I'll go ahead and put it on the 4. You'd have to give it to the dealer and tell them you want to lay the 4. You can't place that yourself, but you know, I'm everything right now. I'm the dealer, I'm the narrator, I'm the shooter. And yeah. All right, so 6, 3, 9. All right, so we are safe on our lay bet. We can pull that down. And again, we can go back with the 48 on the 6 and 8. Dealer, place my 6 and 8 for 48 each. Throw that 100 out there. You'll get $4 and change. And we will place 48 each on the 6 and 8. Plus a field bet of $3. There's 48. Another 48. Don't ask me why it's these particular amounts. Again, I'm just kind of following the strategy that I find. And like I said, I haven't really had a chance to practice this. I just kind of read over it. I'm on short time. I've been busy this week, so this is Wednesday night before the Thursday video. All right, so we got our $25 field bet out there also. So we did the lay, and now we're doing the play. Lay and play the field. And we've got 48 on the 6 and 8. Dice out. 4, 1, 5. All right, there's nothing there, and we're going to lose that field bet. Now we can replace it. We didn't have anything to win to hit it and replace it, or we can just wait until we hit the 6 or 8 and replace it then. Dice out. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. There's a 5, 4, 9. All right. Point hit. Everything's off. We're not going to place anything else out there at this time. Like I said, we're doing okay, so we don't have to force any bets or anything like that. There's a 4, 1, 5. 5 is in our new point. Dice out. 6, 2, 8. Okay, 48 is going to pay 56. Now we can collect and regress, or if we just kind of want to have a little fun, we can try to play a field bet again, maybe get that money back, and we'll put $31 over there. A little revenge field bet, I guess you could say. Dice out. 4, 3, 7. Well, there's the revenge, but it's on us instead of us taking it out on somebody else. 437. So that is out for everything here. And we'll move on to the next shooter. 25 minutes. Yeah, let's squeeze one more in here. I'm sorry if this is going a little long, but it is a little more, there is a little more involved in this strategy, so it kind of takes a little longer to set it up. But I thought it was interesting, so I just kind of wanted to test it out. All right, let's get our $100 lay bet out there on the 4. Again, you can really lay any number you want. And since we're up, we don't even have to play that lay bet, but I'm just going ahead and following the strategy as it is worded. Dice out. There's a hard 4. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, so when you hit that lay bet point right there, you lose it. So we lose that $100. 4 is our point. We can throw out our 96 and play the 48 each on the 6 and 8. Get that set up. And 3 and 3. We are at 48 and we will play 25 in the field. We did kind of bite into our profits a little bit, but hopefully we can make a little bit back on this shooter. Dice out. 314. Okay. Point hit, but that's also a field number, so we hit that field number. We can do whatever we want with those. We can keep playing the field and wait for one more hit, or we can go ahead and spread out to the 5 and 9. We did that last time and had pretty good success with it, so let's go ahead and do it again. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Oh well. I didn't need a new set of dice necessarily, but I got one. There is a 12 Boxcars Midnight. Dice out. And a 6-5 yo right back. See a horn, bet a horn. Dice out. 5, 3, 8. All right, 8's our new point. None of this was working, so now it's all back on. Working for us again. Dice out. We could regress. We can take a couple of hits and then regress. That was an ace deuce. 3 craps. And a 6, 2, 8. All right, point hit plus a hit on that $48. That's going to pay us 56. We'll go ahead and just say same bet, and we're going to collect that. And we'll try to get one more hit. Not working. We're coming out looking for a new point. 437. That's a frontline winner. A good time for that to show with that puck being off and us not working. Dice out. We got 2 of them back to back. A repeater on the frontline 7. And now we have a hard 10. Puppy paws. There we go. All right, 10's our new point. Let's look for one more hit and then we'll do a regression. 5, 3, 8. All right, so we got it. There is $56. We didn't have to wait for that second hit, but you know what? That's a little more profit for us. So we're going to go ahead and rack that and then just tell the dealer to take us down to 66 inside. And make it so. 1, 2, 3. We'll get change for a quarter. There's 5. And we'll cap those off, and then we put $80 back to our rack. All right, we can color up a little bit. There's 3 or 4 green rather for a black. And we've got just under $200 over there. 66 inside working for us, and dice are coming out. 10 is our point, and a 5, 2, and we're through. Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. We're getting on long on time. That's 28 minutes so far into it. So we'll take this down and we'll collect our chips, put them out here in the middle, color up, see what we got. And then we'll get to that little anecdote that I was talking about for a viewer comment. Address that. Some of you may find it comical, some of you may not. I found it comical. And I even thanked the person and responded to them. All right, let's go ahead and color up. There is 5 white for a red. Let's get 5 red and 5 red. So that's going to be 2 green. 1, 2. All right, and let's break our green down. There's 4, 4, and 4. That's going to be 300 in black. And we can break our black down. There is 5 and 1,000. I don't have pumpkin, but I've got orange. And there is 400. So that is 1,000. That was our buy-in. So everything else you see out besides that orange chip is profit. 450 and 5. So $455 profit on that quick little lay and play the field strategy. So let me know what you think down in the comments. It's kind of interesting, a lot involved. You're taking quite a bit of a risk. And you see we did hit on it once on that lay bet, and then we lost on it once. So it can kind of mess up your bankroll unless you've got a decent sized bankroll. So, all right. So now let me address, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I'll address the viewer comment. I'm going to put it here on the screen. Kind of interesting, and it's a complaint, I guess. I didn't know I had a complaint department, but I guess I do. It's like, why do all you shooters on these strategy videos insist on throwing 2 feet closer to the wall than... now I lost my place. Why do you insist on throwing 2 feet closer to the wall than any real shooter would? You're throwing from the dealer positions instead of left or right, which makes your throws completely worthless. Well, apparently I'm the elected spokesperson for all you shooters. So I'll try not to let the power go to my head. I'm not going to run for re-election. So the viewer asked why I throw closer to the wall from the dealer spot instead of the ends, making my rolls worthless. Truth is, as I've said many times before, I'm a one-man crew, one camera, one table. I'm the dealer, the shooter, the stick man. I narrate. I'm the chip stacker. Make a mess a lot of times. And shooting from this spot right here keeps the game flowing and lets me show more rolls without spending half the video walking laps. Yes, it's only a 6-foot table. I don't have another camera down on the other end. I'll get one eventually, and maybe we'll do some shots from the end. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and roll these strategies out right here. 2 feet, or you know what? I can give you another 6 inches there and give you 2.5 feet and throw it from there. But that was it. I just kind of wanted to address that. I know there's some other channels that I watch. They shoot from the end. They shoot from the wall right here. Sometimes the shooter's off camera. Sometimes they're right there, just like I am, throwing it. So that's it. Just kind of wanted to address that, like I said. This is not a regulation table. It's a 6-foot by 2.5-foot mat. Very nice mat. Again, thank you to the people at gripmats.etsy.com. Snuck that in there. And also, while I'm mentioning them, I might as well go ahead and mention pokerchipmania.com. Go check them out as well. Use the code CRAPSTX10 for 10% off your order. And GripMats also has a discount on their Etsy site, gripmats.etsy.com. Check out their percentage off discounts and the different items that they have for that. So, anyway, like I said, I'm not a regulation table. I'm just a one-man show, trying to show some strategies. It's the way I learned, and I didn't really complain about how whoever I was watching, how they were shooting, whether it was from the full 8 feet or 12 feet or 14-foot table, or if it was from a small table like this. Hell, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use that word, but heck, there is even some people that just use a little shooting box. One of the best, most famous channels out there, Waylon's Way. Every once in a while, he shoots on a little box that he made a long time ago just to test out strategies. And that's all we're doing, folks. We're just testing out strategies. We're not trying to perfect our dice throw or anything like that. So, yeah. Anyway, I thanked him for watching and thanked him for the comment. Him or her, I can't really tell by the name. It was a few consonants and vowels and numbers. So that's all I'll say about that. So again, let me know what you think about this strategy, the lay or the play, okay, I'm going to get jumbled up now. The lay and play the field, $10 table, $1,000 buy-in. We ended up with $1,455. If you'd like to email us right here, crapstx@gmail.com. I respond to every one of them, and thank you so much for some of the people that have emailed in thus far. I've got some really kind words, and those kind words offset the people that complain by 1,000%. So thank you very much. You know who you are. I do appreciate it. And I'm going to keep rolling these strategies out from right here. Now, there will be times I'm going to actually throw some lives in too. I'm not kind of spilling the beans a little bit there, but every once in a while, I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to hook it up to my laptop and do some lives. I will shoot from the end of the table then. And you guys can just play along. I don't have Crapsy or anything like that where I can set it up and you can do it like that. I'm just going to play. I'll keep my chips down here. You guys can play along or follow along however you want. So that's a little teaser. That's coming in the short future, hopefully. So this is CrapsTX. There's the logo. It says it right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before you head out, please hit that thumbs up for us. That really, really helps us out. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified when another video comes out. Also, thank you. We have gained several subscribers here just in the last couple of weeks. We're well over 550. I think we're at 565 or so. I'm not sure by the time this comes out. We may be closer to 600. Who knows? But yeah, thank you very much. We've gotten past that 500 mark, so let's go ahead and shoot for 1,000. I might even do something for you guys once we get to 1,000. To my loyal subscribers only. There you go. So thank you so much. This is Keith, Craps TX. We'll see you on the next one.